Out to Baltimore. Our Steve White is covering the Chargers, and Aditi Kinkhabwala is with the Ravens. And Steve, let's start with what the Chargers are focusing on today.
Yeah, Colleen, one of the biggest issues for their defense isn't just guarding against the Ravens' wicked running game, but it's also handling their multitude of tight ends. Remember, it was Mark Andrews' 68-yard touchdown reception in Baltimore's Week 16 victory that really tipped the scales for the Ravens. Well, Chargers cornerback Casey Hayward told me the issue is they've got 4 good tight ends and they use all of them. They're all good blockers and they target them in the passing game. So he said defensively they got to know which tight ends are in the game and where they're lined up. I also asked Hayward and rookie safety Derwin James about getting that big hit on quarterback Lamar Jackson that we all say is coming because Jackson runs so much. And Hayward said, look, he's like Michael Vick. You think you're going to get him. It's hard. But then Derwin James said, that big hit is coming. It's coming. Now let's send it over to Aditi with more on the Ravens.
Steve, Lamar Jackson turns 22 tomorrow, and he's got all the confidence in the world. The way Ravens offensive coordinator Marty Morningwood put it, some people think they're Superman. He's one of them. But of course, the last time these two teams saw each other, the Chargers did have a bit of kryptonite. They held Jackson to his lowest rushing total of the year. He did have a career high in passing yardage, but nearly a third of that came on one big play. The magic with Jackson, of course, is that most teams don't see an offense like this. It's hard to replicate it. The Chargers did see it just 15 days ago, though. So Jackson was asked about the adjustments the Chargers can make. He said, well, so can we. We watch film also. Colleen?
Oh, boy, you know this is going to be good. Flipping it over to the other side of things, the other offense there, the Chargers, they were rolling until the last 2 games of the season, which includes that loss to the Ravens in week 16. Their offense dropped off by about 12 points and 150 yards.
Put the blueprint out on them, how to defend them.
That's after having just 12 giveaways all season. They had 7 in their final 2. I feel like it sort of started in that Chiefs game a little bit, too, on Thursday night. Even though they won that game, they did look a little shaky. He gave away the ball twice, got hit a ton, but Phillip Rivers up against that top-ranked defense now in the Ravens. Twice in the last 3 weeks. What are you thinking here?
Well, if Phillip Rivers want to have some success against this Baltimore Ravens defense, he has to learn how to handle the blitz. I mean, and the first time that they played, the Baltimore Ravens got after him, and he didn't really know where the 5 guys were coming from. I mean, this season, okay, Baltimore Ravens blitz quarterbacks almost 40% of the time, 3rd highest in the National Football League. And Phillip Rivers, he hadn't been good against the blitz over the last couple of weeks. And again, I think it started with the first time that they played a couple of weeks ago. They just got after Phillip Rivers. He has not been able to defeat the blitz.
Okay, so if you are Phillip Rivers, how do you come out in this game? What do? Do you just attack them and try and get the early lead? Do you just throw right away, or are you playing into the Ravens' hands by doing that?
He tried that the last game, and he threw an interception on his first
pass. So you keep it close and then wait until the 4th? What do you do?
No, you have to take what the defense gives you and be patient enough to take what they give you and just work your way downfield. You can't be impatient and try to get it all with one pass like he did the first pass of the game the first time, and he got intercepted. So it's about him not putting the ball in harm's way.
One of the interesting things, though, you go and look at Phil Rivers over 14, 15 weeks. He looks spectacular. But that Week 16 showed me a lot. And what is even better about that is we see the game is changing. We talk about the game of inches. In the new football, it's the game of seconds. And what does that have, and why is that important? Because, look, Week 16, look at these numbers. Average time to throw. All those other weeks, 2.4. Now, 2.3. Look at the completion percentage, how it has changed. Quarterback rating. We look at all of those numbers, and we say the game of inches now is transforming in a game of seconds. And this 300th of a second, you know what that is? That's 2,655 mile difference from playing at home in StubHub, now playing in BWI in Baltimore.
You get that right?
I got that right.
I am checking that later.
Check it. BWI, StubHub, Carson, 232nd in Avalon, player.
Got some research.
I grew up on 126 in Avalon, so I know where it's at.
So the reason that, he looked unsettled the entire
What's
game.
going on here, Garrett?
And you're talking about the blitz. I mean, the Ravens do it better than anybody maybe in the league right now. That 5, 6, 7 guys up front here, who's dropping out, who's coming. And Rivers the entire game. His feet were just unsettled. I mean,
Happy
even when
feet.
he had, what do they call that?
Happy feet.
Happy feet. They were just, and listen, sometimes his mechanics aren't the cleanest, okay? But he was. I mean, this foot was out this way. The feet were hopping. Just never comfortable the whole game. So I want to see early in this game, if I'm the Ravens, I got to do whatever I can to start those feet going, because a lot of times it's tough to settle that mid-game.
It is tough to settle it, and he's a quarterback that's not very mobile, and I don't mean the Lamar Jackson type of mobile. I'm talking about even the Tom Brady type of mobile, where you can get in and out of the pocket, just work in the pocket.
Statue stand?
He's very much a statue stand. Almost 25% of all Phillip Rivers pass attempts go to running backs, meaning he's checking it down a lot because.
Check down, Charlie.
I'm just saying. You were right about him.
They're going to need more production, too, from Melvin Gordon.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully he's healthy.
Struggled, but also, I mean, running against this Ravens defense, it's not easy. Only two running backs have rushed for over 65 yards all season long. So you have to wonder what they're going to be able to do in this matchup. Plus, we saw Melvin Gordon. He got banged up at the end of last game, too. So you wonder what his health is, too.
But if I'm the Chargers and I'm Anthony Lynn, the Baltimore Ravens have to show me they still have to stop the run. They have to show up and show me that they're going to stop the run first.
Melvin Gordon told his Uber driver yesterday that he's going to bring it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check that video out. Chargers retweeted it like 7 times yesterday. All right. Who wants to talk to Rappaport?
I do.
I'll do it. It's fine. All right, he's coming in from NFL headquarters on Park Avenue in New York City. Lots to talk.
Talk about my dog again, man. I'm going to come see you.
I'm his dog.
Just saying.
Talk about John Harbaugh's future. The Ravens released that statement saying I believe it was before that Chargers game, saying he's our guy. We're going to work out an extension. Hadn't happened yet, right?
Has not happened yet. There were talks early in the week between John Harbaugh's longtime agent, Brian Harlan, and members of the Ravens brass. Happened on Monday. They had a couple conversations, went home, and that really is where it stood. No real progress to speak of, nothing done yet. But remember, Mike, while teams are watching and no doubt monitoring John Harbaugh's status as Ravens coach, this is all in the hands of the Baltimore Ravens. If they want him to return as coach, and they definitely do, then he will in 2019. It's not like he's going to force his way out. He is more than comfortable. Nothing changes, just playing out the contract and dealing with it next year. As far as a possible coach trade, which I know has been speculated, my understanding is that is not something John Harbaugh would be inclined to do. He wouldn't want to, even if he wanted to change teams, which he doesn't, he wouldn't want to weaken the new team he'd be going to.
All right, that's the interesting part. It's not like this is necessarily going to be a showdown now, and it's just something that can carry forward into 2019. Thank you very much, Ian.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Hey, check this out. This is pretty cool. Stoney and Diana Kirsch, they live in Arlington, Texas. They're Cowboys fans, like really big Cowboys fans. So big they actually had to renovate their home to fit all of their Cowboys memorabilia. So guess who stopped by yesterday? You can see it right there. Commissioner Roger Goodell, and he didn't come empty-handed. He surprised the family with Super Bowl tickets. Yeah,
See,
that's
how
pretty
you
awesome.
visit. That's how you visit a house. You bring something.
I know. That's quite a gift to bring. Wow. I need to have people over more often.
I'm saying, Roger, can you come visit me?
Yeah.
Roger was raised right. There you go.
Well, hey, this season the NFL has been giving away 500 Super Bowl tickets to passionate fans, community leaders, and youth football coaches.
I got some that need some tickets, Roger. I got some football coaches that need some. Hit me up, Roger.
Maybe
hit me up.
Pull some strings.
Who knows? At the NFL Network, huh?
So hopefully for the Kirsches, the Cowboys will make it to Atlanta, and they'll be able to see their team in the Super Bowl. Congrats, guys. That's going to be super fun. All right, let's talk about, hey, you want to talk about Nick Foles, guys?